We got the flavor, we got the light. We got Tigress and VenomM, they bring it drama. Step in the room, feel the bassline drop. Mic on fire, can't make it stop. Indie vibes rising from the underground. Raw talent here that shakes the sound. Got beats that sizzle, got words that spark. Shining like stars from the light to the dark. We got the flavor, we got the lava. Turn it up louder, feel the power. We got the flavor, we got the lava. Tigress and VenomM, legends in the saga. We got the flavor, we got the lava. Tigress and VenomM, legends in the saga. Spotlight on as the stories unfold. Dreams on the mic, never getting old. Breaking barriers with every note. Paving new paths on this indie road.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to the Flava on Tigress 315 Radio. Thank you again for tuning in for another great episode. I will be bringing our special guest on momentarily. But once again, thank you for tuning in, and make sure you are following us because we do have even more interviews upcoming in the next few weeks. We are also in partnership with RIIN Radio. And I will be bringing our special guest in a few minutes. But first, we're going to find out a little bit more about him. So our special guest tonight is DJ Boozadelic, and he is also part of the Tigress 315 radio family. So I'm excited to bring him on. But first, we're going to find out a little bit more about him. Let's go.
DJ Boozadelic is a versatile DJ, recording artist and producer whose signature sound blends the infectious rhythms of dancehall and reggae with funk, hip-hop, and the vibrant energy of amapiano. Known for delivering high-energy performances and authentic productions, he continues to build a growing international following through original music, radio airplay, and chart success. One of his standout releases, Big Mon Tings, reached #1 on the N1MUS reggae chart, where it remained at the top for several weeks during 2024 and 2025. The single has also enjoyed consistent rotation on independent radio stations worldwide and earned impressive recognition on the Radio Indie International Network weekly Top 30, climbing as high as #3. As both a producer and collaborator, DJ Boozadelic has worked with an impressive roster of independent artists, including Young Promise, Tommy Tay, John Niceness, Raz D, DJ Paul Spiceman, and Ja Fagan. These collaborations showcase his ability to blend cultures and musical styles while remaining true to his Caribbean roots and global musical vision. Whether behind the decks, in the recording studio, or creating new collaborations, DJ Boozadelic is committed to producing music that moves people and bridges genres. With a growing catalog of releases, international radio support, and chart-topping success, he continues to establish himself as an influential voice in independent music. Follow DJ Boozadelic on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube to stay connected for new music, videos, performances, and upcoming releases.
Well, there you have it. That is just a little intro about our featured artist we're going to bring on. So without further ado, welcome, DJ Boozadelic.
Hey, greetings, Tigress, and thank you so much for having me on as a guest, actually for the second time now. Appreciate the love.
Yes. So now, you're turning the hot seat. Well, I mean, since the last time, I mean, you've created a lot of music. We're going to get into that, and you also become a part of the team. So I'm excited to have you here tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And, and speaking of the team, it's just I feel so welcome and part of the team. It's like the three of us together, unstoppable.
Exactly. I love it. Exactly. So we just going to get right into it, So, I mean, you've been here before, but, I always still for those who don't know anything about you. So how about you just give us a little background, like where you're from?
Okay. Well, first let me start to say off by saying that since the first interview, I've put in so much more work, which you're going to hear about later. But I was born and raised and still live here in Portland, Oregon, USA. And no, we don't have cowboys and Indians out here. We are a big city with big city problems. So I've been around since, let's just say, Kennedy was president when I was born. And so music has always been a part of my life. And, you know, I was like, I should have known I would end up being a DJ. DJing is my first love. The producing and the actual artist thing, just kind of something I fell into, which we can talk about that a little bit later. But, yeah, I just was always that type of person that would, like, play my music loud so everybody can hear it. When I'd be playing when we'd be outside playing basketball on the corner and stuff, I'd have my speakers in the window and be jamming. And, man, if my dad came home, I had the speakers out the jam, and I was going to get my butt tore up because he did not like me rocking the block like that. As a matter of fact, I think you probably have my Blame It on the Funk song. That's actually a true story about what my dad thought about me playing the funk.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, so when you got started in music, like, were you ever, like, singing, dancing, rapping, anything like that?
Okay, my first when I first got involved in music, besides, you know, having to sing in choir in school and, you know, trying to play instruments, I wanted to play the drums, but my mom made me play the flute because she didn't want that noise in the house, and I didn't get into that. So that kind of turned me off from trying to be, you know, playing instruments at that point in my life. And so, but I got into DJing early because, like I said earlier, I was just always playing music for people. And then when I got into high school, there was a guy, it's called Disco Danny Limpton. He was 2 years ahead of me, but he had a mobile DJ business. And I went to a trade school, so we used to have this thing, and I still have it, called the Tech Show, where you put on these different demonstrations, exhibitions of, you know, what you work on in the shop classes. And Dan had set up this real cool light panel, and he was in there DJing. And so he asked me if I wanted to work the lights, and I did that. And then I started hanging out with him, going to events. And I was 16. We actually went to this place for a New Year's party called the Cheerful Tortoise. And the ironic thing about the Cheerful Tortoise, that's the first place I ended up DJing. I'm actually DJing there tonight after this interview. But the reason I fell into the DJing because I was working the lights. But somehow those guys all got their hands on some champagne and stuff, and they got drunk. And they weren't capable of spinning, so I jumped on the decks and started spinning, and I've been doing it off and on ever since.
Okay.
And so
spinning, how long, so did you learn how to spin? Did you like watch people, or did you just like keep practicing?
Okay, so I'm old enough that there wasn't any such thing as video. Music videos on TV. And so, I mean, I was hearing people like, you know, Grandmaster Flash, but I started spinning funk because this was even before hip-hop. And so I was into, like, the Parliament Funkadelic. And I would say when my boy Bobby Anderson bought the P-Funk Earth Tour album to the Christmas party, whatever we had at school, I think we was, like, in the 4th or 5th grade, something like that. That's when I really just, like, fell in love with the beat of the music. And so as far as the actual learning how to DJ, at first I was just kind of playing records. I had a natural ear, and so, you know, back then we used to do pretty much just, like, segues and stuff. But then when I actually saw Grandmaster Flash, I can't remember if it was on, like, American Bandstand or something like that, or the Midnight Special. That's when I was like, oh, man, look what he's doing with them record players, you know. You know, we called them record players. We called them turntables back then. And so that got me, you know, into trying to, like, match up beats. And then once Crush Groove came out when I was in college, I was already on a college radio station, but when Crush Groove came out and I got to see Jam Master Jay doing this thing, I wanted to be Jam Master Jay. So I was like, I had the shell toe Adidas with no shoestrings in them, the Adidas sweatsuit, the dang fedora on. I just didn't have the big gold rope pants, so I couldn't afford it. Yeah. And so that's how I got. That's how seriously I took the DJing. And so you were asking about did I sing and all that before. So I kind of about that time there was a lot of unrest happening in the Portland area, racial tensions and stuff. And there was this incident up at the one of the restaurants, this place called the Burger Barn, where the police threw some dead possums in front of it because it was known for prostitution and drug dealing. Then they killed an off-duty security guard who was trying to break up a fight in a 7-Eleven. And then an 88-year-old woman got shot by, a policeman for just walking out on a porch. And so I decided I had to write about it, just wrote a song about it just to kind of like air out my frustration of what I was seeing happen. So that was actually my first song. It was called But back then, it wasn't like today where you can just do all the stuff from your home computer, and all the mastering and all that stuff. So I used to just try to make tapes, and to press a record back then, you were looking at several $1,000s to press something on vinyl, and I wasn't selling dope or in the underworld, so I didn't have that kind of money. So I just kept DJing.
So how do you feel, how has your music evolved since from when you first started?
Oh, man. So, like, when I first started, I'm going to tell you, my first drum machine was a Roland 909. I found it at a pawn shop for like $119. And I wish I still had it because now that thing on eBay is about $11,000. But anyway, so I just like, I had a couple friends, my boy Kelvin, a.k.a. Doc Rock. He had like a little, him and his buddy Kevin Nichols, they had this group called Most Def. And so I started kind of hanging out DJing, and they would be rapping and stuff. And so then I performed with them, and, it was raw. Because, the drum, we'd punch out a beat on the drum machine and just have some scratches. There was no instruments, no keyboards, no horns, nothing. It was just drum machine and the DJ scratches. And so whereas now it's just like, with the what they call that little sample thing you can get on your Splice. Okay, you have access to all these different sample libraries. I know there's a lot of purists out there that say, that's not really making music using samples, but it's still creative in it. And, I'm not out there trying to compete with all the artists that have been out there doing it for years. I'm just trying to put my song out there and put my message out there. I don't care if I make a dime off the music. It'd be nice, but it's not what drives me to write the songs and to put out music. Yeah. And so, but now it's just like, with the advancement in AI technology, I can put something together in my DAW and then say, all right, let me throw this into AI and see what AI does to it. And then I can go ahead and take those, those stems, and then chop them and create my own sound with it. And that's what I've been doing. And so, I think my writing style has pretty much stayed the same. I'm always motivated by something that's happening out there that kind of gets me upset. I need to voice my frustrations. And so that's for the songs. Yeah, most of the songs. But then I do have a few songs out there that are kind of more like the love songs, and that was inspired by something else.
Okay. Yeah, I get that. But yeah, there is enough going on in the world, though, which you said about, right? There's enough things going on in this world to write about. Like, it's just so many issues from racism, politics, everything. There's so much to write about. We all got a story. We all done dealt with something.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of that, so we're going to get on into one of your songs. I want to start off with your song, World at War, since we're talking about everything going on. So
okay.
All right, so we're going to start with that, and then we're going to chit-chat about it afterwards.
All right.
Right. Get loaded up. Here we go.
wasting taxpayers' money when the children need to eat. We're at war at the people's expense. Oh, Jah, make it make sense. We're at war cause the global elite dealing lies and deceit. Innocent civilians falling in the street. 64 schoolgirls gone, I wept in my sleep. Tell me why the righteous sow and the wicked reap. Why must we live in fear when life should be sweet? When we could be prospering, rising to our feet. From year to year, building harvest from the seed. Instead of counting body bags and feeding off greed. Propaganda on the airwaves, twisting what we read. Mothers crying out, who will intercede? Just see the suffering, Jah hear every plea. Truth shall rise like the sun over the sea. World at war because of greed, wasting taxpayers' money when the children need to eat. We're at war at the people's expense. Oh, Jah, make it make sense. Walls closing in, them seeking distraction. Start another war, send the youth to action. Marching in the dust for a dark satisfaction, just to cover up the works of the evil faction. Release the files, let the hidden come to light. Justice must roll like thunder in the night. Wrath of fire waiting for the tyrant's might. Dictators trembling at the people's side. Stop them now before it's too late. Greed and corruption try and steal with faith. Climate of hate from the lies they create. Elected to serve yet they violate. World at war because of greed, wasting taxpayers' money when the children need to eat. We're at war at the people's expense. Oh, Jah, make it make sense. Stocking up the courts with friends and cronies. Writing up the laws like the land for whites only. Division and fear is the old time story. Painting false visions of power and glory. Definition of evil, cold and unholy. But the people were blind, hearts hard and stony. I tried to warn them, cried out boldly. Yet them turn away, say the truth too lonely. Naive to the plan, working slowly. Trading their freedom for silver and trophy. Still Jah light shine on the humble and lowly. And righteousness stand up firm and holy.
Yeah, yes sir, it's a new real. Yeah, hey yo fam, what's up? We do it all day. Yeah, let's catching breeze, Tigress, DJ VenomM, DJ Boozadelic on the set. 3, 4, and 5 is the vibe you won't forget. R&B heat, mix that bass and boom bap. Island rhythms got you moving around the room. Catch the wave when this trio drop a beat. Let your body swing through the fire and the heat. Tigress bringing that sensual flame. Smooth R&B, she's changing the game. Touch you in your feelings with the rhythm and flow. Candlelight grooves make your body move slow. DJ VenomM digging deep in the crates. Old school basement spinning those plates. Boom bap classic, that funky fresh sound. When VenomM's on the ones and twos, the whole place get down. CG gets those toes to move. DJ Boozadelic bringing Caribbean fire. Reggae bouncing that island desire. Dancehall rhythms make you wanna move. When this trio steps in, you whip out the groove. You know our slogan, come and catch the vibe. Tune in day to bring that music live. This trio bringing nothing but fire. 315 bringing that music power. Make sure you follow Tigress 315 Radio. Click that like button. Subscribe for more heat.
All right, well, that was DJ Boozadelic World at War. Yes,
Yeah,
thank you everyone for still listening in. Yeah, so tell us about, well, we know what's going on, but just tell us, the little backstory to you writing this.
Yeah, man. Me wake up one morning and tired of them excuse me, I can't say that. The blood clot policies of them politicians. It was just, I woke up the morning the war started, and I don't watch the news, but I do get, news across my phone, and I just kind of look at the headlines and see if anything that would benefit us, but the evil faction, having something happen to them. And the war started. And I was just like, dang, the first thing I heard about it, at that time, because the line in the song says, 64 schoolgirls killed in their sleep. Tell me why the wicked prosper and the poor have to, the poor suffer and, the elite basically reap the benefits. And so it was just like, man, so these people go over there. Iran doesn't have any damn uranium, whatever that stuff is that they're trying to, that they're saying that they got tons of uranium. Well, they have uranium, but they don't have bombs and all that. And so they start this war, and they keep wasting all this money, the taxpayers' money, kill all these innocent civilians, schoolgirls at that. And what are they going to do when they rebuild? They're going to hire their contractors and make money for the global elite. That's what they always do, and I'm just tired of it, so I had to speak out.
Well, you did. You spoke very well in that. You did indeed.
And once I got the pen from, I wrote that in 20 minutes. And so then I played around with a couple of different styles. Actually, so that album that I put out, Fire on the Front Line, there's more of a true reggae version, but I'll call that one the, what am I going to call that? I won't give it some name. I'm just going to call it the Boozadelic Rhythm. I just, that music. It's just so that's going to be the remix for that. And I actually have a video. I've still got to tweak some things on that and decide if I want to pay the money to release the video. I think they tried to charge me money for the videos. I was like, do I want to do that or not? And so I said, I think the words speak for itself on that song. But, that's, so, you heard that fire right there. That's basically what it inspires me to write. It's just something that goes on, an atrocity in the world that is just so unbelievable. It's I got to say something about it. It's I'm always teasing my mom because my mom sits up here. She's like JT and watch the news 24/7 with Venom. And I tell her, I said, Mom, you got to get away from that vicious news. All they do is poison your head. And so instead of that, I say my little part and then I just move on.
Yeah, I can only watch the news. I do like you probably. I see the headlines and sometimes I may read a little bit, but sometimes you have, to me, being here in Georgia, having the news on, sometimes it can be depressing because there's just so much going on, kids getting killed, and I'm seeing so many posts, 12-year-olds, 16-year-olds getting shot or they done shot somebody. It's that is just sad to me, that's a lot.
Yeah. It's we just had that happen right up in Seattle, over at the Seattle Center. There was a couple of people got killed and several people got wounded. It was 13 and 14-year-old kids, or maybe the oldest one was 16. Then we had something here in Portland last week. There was a bunch of kids that were involved in something like that, and it's just it's just sad. And it's the time when I'm at my mom's and she's in there watching TV, and it's in a short time that I'll be in the kitchen, whipping something up. It's I'm up here that orange game 40 times, and then it's every other story, killing, natural disaster. Or bankrupt, or economy's crashing. Nothing on there is good. And I was just what does that do to you? Your vibrational frequency. if that's all you're hearing all day long. It's just doom and gloom.
Yeah.
So every time I
what's
happening out there in the streets? I said, nothing. It's quiet. Don't believe what you see on that TV.
Yeah, I mean, too much of the news, like, it would have you paranoid to leave out your house.
Yeah, and that's what happened. And I used to hear about that. I mean, my mom's always been to watch the news. I remember as a kid, I used to always hear the radio on when we'd be getting ready for school and everything. She'd be listening to the news channel. Mm-hmm. But now it's to the point where it's like, well, I got to get back here before noon, before the crazy people get out there. And then she's always like, anytime she finds out I'm going to go out and play out somewhere, she said, boy, be careful out there. There's some crazy people downtown. I said, if you get caught up in that energy, you will attract that scenario. I've been doing this stuff for a long time. I've never been around any gunfire, stabbings, or nothing like that.
I mean, things happen, but you can't, we can't stop living our life from what we hear on the news, Because other than that, you never leave your house at all, like never.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm. Okay, so let's. So, who are your biggest musical influences?
Okay, well, so I got a wide variety, but without a doubt, because I grew up on the funk. I'm all about the P-funk. So George Clinton, James Brown, Bootsy Collins, those would be my funk people. Then when it comes to hip-hop, of course, Run DMC, because they got me into it, but then it's like the lyricism of like KRS-One, Big L, rest in peace, the guys from that era, Pete Rock, CL Smooth, those cats. So they got me. And then, you got like the jazz kind of guys like Ramsey Lewis, Herbie Hancock that have influenced me. And then reggae, a lot of Sly Dunbar, Robbie Shakespeare from Black Uhuru fame, and Steel Pulse, and, of course, Bob Marley.
Okay. Right, we got DJ VenomM in the building for a hot second. What's up, DJ VenomM?
What's going on, y'all? I'm on G-pop duty. Man, my brother, I'm sorry I'm missing this, man. I'm just kind of really busy. My grandson's teething, and he's making a lot of noise. I had to go to another part of the room real quick just to get in real quick.
Oh, okay. well, welcome in.
Yeah. Let me ask a couple of questions. I'm hoping they don't they haven't been asked yet. So okay. I just got a couple quick questions, man. And I know you focus on a lot of reggae.
Uh-huh.
Besides reggae, what's your main focus in being a DJ?
Oh, man, I would have to say, as much as I love funk, I'd say hip-hop, because I got back into spinning vinyl, and I want to say big ups to my boys, DJ Wicked, DJ Tony Mafia, Tristan Fuentes, and Good Fortune DJ, because every Wednesday night it goes down at a spot called the Cheerful Tortoise, where we get on the ones and twos with vinyl and go ahead and do our thing. And so,
okay.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask just one other question.
Yeah.
If you had to perform as an opening act for any artist, dead or alive, they said you got a 30-minute set, and then after this 30-minute set, you are to introduce who? Who would you do it for, and who are you introducing?
Oh, man, that's a tough one, because the person I really want to say, I would hate to go on before him. I'll go ahead and say it anyway. KRS-One.
Okay. That's a true old school head right there. I feel you on that. So that leads me to one more question. I got to ask this question. Okay, here we go. in a head-to-head battle, KRS-One versus Rakim. Who you got?
You see my video?
No.
Okay, so I'll have to send it to you when we get done.
Yeah.
I can send it on this interview. I actually posed that question, and I did basically a set mixing KRS-One and Rakim. So I the question, who you got, KRS-One or Rakim? And I would have to say head-to-head, I got to go with the KRS-One, simply because
okay, go ahead.
So much more material out there.
But yeah.
I would love to actually see them go at it on a versus. There would be no winner. To me, one A, one
yeah. I am partial to always will be always. My GOAT is Rakim is the R. You know, that's my GOAT. You know, that's the R is my GOAT. There's no if and buts about it. That to me now, KRS-One is in my top 5. But when it comes to the GOAT, now you know like Big Daddy Kane, you know, I now okay. So if you had a versus between Big Daddy Kane and KRS-One, who you got?
KRS-One.
Okay. See, there you go. See that. So I would love to see that versus though, man. I would love just off the strength of not off the catalog, just them bar for bar going at it.
Oh, you didn't see it when they had it? That was
no.
I watched it on.
I'm gonna have to go look it up, man. 'Cause I didn't get a chance to see that.
Oh yeah, that was very good.
Yeah.
So, King, my top MCs too.
Okay. Hey man, well I wish you much success, continued success with the team, with your projects, man, and I'm sorry I gotta dip out and go back in there because he's raising sand right now, so I gotta go do the G-pop duty. But we'll be in touch, man. Much love to you, man.
All right, my brother, appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, y'all. I'm out.
All right.
Hey, thanks for coming through.
All right.
Right. Let's get this going. So let's get into another one of your songs. Let's see. There's one you sent from Fuse to Ancestors.
I said what? Oh, from
Fuse to Ancestors.
Yeah, from the Fuse to the Ancestors. Yes. All right.
Yes.
So
I'm going to play that one next.
Okay. You want to wait till after the song, or you want me to say something before the song?
Well, no, you can go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and say something before the song. Yeah, go ahead. Get us prepared.
Okay. So, from Fuse to Ancestors, so I grew up indoctrinated into the Episcopal Church. And, don't get me wrong, it did give me a good sense of morals and all that, but there just always seemed to be something that just didn't make sense about all the stories I was hearing and the materials I was seeing in Sunday school versus the words that were actually in the Bible. And so as I got older, I started trying to really find myself. And, when I got into my 50s, I guess, I actually obtained knowledge of myself and started adopting my African spirituality. And so from the Fuse to the Ancestors basically is about a man trying to clear up that confusion of what he learned and was indoctrinated into the church versus the spirituality that his ancestors had, and dealing with what we went through during the Jim Crow era. So that's what the song is about. And it's a hip-hop song. And, I put out some of my own hip-hop stuff a while back. And, truth be told, unless you were, back in the day, like a big name or something, nobody wants to see no rapper. So that's why I create this character. And so, yeah. So go ahead and let it roll, and we can pick it up after the song. This one is deep. It hit hard. That's another one I wrote like in about 20 minutes.
All right, well, let's get this rolling.
Yeah. Talk to me, talk to me. I was kneeling in the dark, hands together, eyes shut. Feeling guilty about my thoughts, feeling like I stay stuck. Every amen just echoed off the pain and the dust. Whole choir sing loud, but I ain't feeling the trust. They told me fear first, love later, that's the way. Told me my grandma's songs were wrong, had to fade away. But a voice in my head beating louder than the choir. While the picture on the wall never looked like my Messiah. Why the mirror in the church never looked like me? Why my story starting changing in history? Why I gotta hate my skin just to feel redeemed? Why my spirit feels small when my soul scream king? What? From pews to ancestors I found my name. From shame in the water to walking in flame. They had me kneel to a face that ain't mine. I dance with the spirits that been here the whole time. Pews to ancestors, I broke them chains. Was praying for escape, now I stand in my veins. I ain't lost in that book, I'm a chapter alive. When I call on my bloodline, that's when I rise. I was banging on the bench trying to drown my doubt. Pastor talking about hell, I'm just trying to get out. How the rich in the front keep a pass to the sky, while my mama in the back with a tired dry cry. Then I dreamt of a drum on a red brown land. Old woman with a staff and a white chalk hand. She ain't asked for my tithe, she ain't asked who raised me. Just say, boy, you forgot who your people. Yeah. Woke up sweating hard, heavy, but it felt right. Lit a candle for my dead in the quiet of the night. When the smoke curled up, I ain't feel that shame. I just heard 10 tongues all call my name. They gon' live. Now I pour out a sip when I talk to the lost. I don't beg to be saved, I remember the cost. Every scar on my skin, every tongue in my ear. Ain't a demon in my roots, that's my power right here. From pews to ancestors, I found my name. From shame in the water to walking in flames. They had me kneel to a faith that ain't mine. Now I dance with the spirits that been here the whole time. Pews to ancestors, I broke them chains. Was praying for escape, now I stand in my veins. I ain't lost in that book, I'm a chapter alive. When I call on my bloodline, that's when I rise. I ain't cursed, I'm chosen. I ain't lost, I'm woven into every drum beat, every graveyard stone, every name they erased is carved in my bones. So when I look to the sky, I see more than fear. I see grandma, I see grandpa saying we right here. I ain't running from my past, I'ma stand and roar. Cause the God in my skin ain't keeping score. From pews to ancestors, I found my name. From shame in the water to walking in flames. They had me kneel to a face that ain't mine. Now I dance with the spirits that been here the whole time.
From pews to ancestors.
Calling all musical enthusiasts, indie lovers, and groove seekers. Brace yourself for a sensational musical journey like no other. Tigress 315 Radio proudly presents LIVE Live, the ultimate platform showcasing the brightest talent from indie music scene.
Well, all right. That was From the Pews to the Ancestors by DJ Boozadelic. I really like that song. I can relate to that. And I can relate to that and what you said about, like, I grew up in a Pentecostal church, and was raised to think this way, that way. And it wasn't until I got older and left that surrounding that I really, I feel like I grew up more, I learned more, you know, when you're instilled with stuff when you're little and you really get up to, you know, to research yourself and find things.
Yeah.
I can relate to that.
Yeah, and so, you know, and I want to send a shout-out to my brother Ray Shellmeyer because he's the one that introduced me to African-based psychology. The first question he asked me is how well, just question, but it's a very deep question. I mean, you only know about yourself what you've been told about yourself in most cases because of all the brainwashing and indoctrination that we've had to face, you know, throughout our lifetime. And so as we get older, there's kind of like this thirst and this hunger to find out the real reason, you know, find out about your ancestral heritage and what you followed before the introduction of the Western religion.
Too deep. That really is. Yeah, it's I mean, I don't know. I just felt like once I left, it's just like it was like a whole new world opened up to me. Because I do remember going through a spell. The church I grew up in, this was one of the ministers. They had said that they read in the Bible that women shouldn't wear pants. So, like, when I was in elementary school, all I wore is skirts, dresses, and kids just be like, why you don't wear pants? And I'm like, my mom said I can't, you know. And then it was like some years later, some minister came back and said, oh, that he read the Bible wrong and women could wear pants. And then women started wearing pants because all the women in the church wouldn't wear pants. It was just like, little things like that. Like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, the most obvious thing was, you know, it was like when the description of Jesus in the Bible, you know, there's skin of bronze, eyes of coal, and hair like wool. And I was like, so why are they putting up this dude that looked like Jesper Cole from Fast Times at Ridgemont High? You know, and so that was like, it lost all credibility with me at that point. And so I was just kind of going because I had to go. And then, like I was mentioning Sunday school earlier, all the books, I mean, you know, nobody looked like me. And that's why, what do you say, I'm praying to a face that's not mine. Yeah, you know, it's like other parts of the world acknowledge it. Like even Russia, they have a picture, you know, a statue of a black man. So why over here? Because they use that as a, you know, that was the main tool in keeping us enslaved. Because if they made the image of God white, then we would fear our master just like we fear God, like we're supposed to fear God. Or and I don't even know why they told us we're supposed to fear God and God was a loving God and all that. So that was another thing I had. Yeah. And so, so I just, you know, my songs is just whatever I'm feeling, you know. I guess if I have a beef with something, that's kind of the way I express it. I just wrote a song about it. In fact, because my mom was watching the news one day, and I said, man, I wrote a song about that. She said, boy, you got a song about everything.
You really can write a song about it. You know, I passed some kind of article one day, and it was saying that, like, one word can inspire you to write a song, and that's true. You could think of something or hear something, and I'm always writing something in my notepad. Like, if I hear a sentence or something, like, no, what, I can write about that. You know, it's always a word or a sentence, a phrase, something that can inspire you to write a song.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, basically, when you look back at, like, especially like the early days of hip hop or rap, I mean, back then it was just about fun. You was talking about people's mamas, their head, or whatever, you know, and you would just come up with a word and you just kept on busting rhymes to cap on somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. I've just got a couple more questions, then we're going to close out with your spicy salsa lady song. Okay. So let me see. So just like two more questions. So, what keeps you motivated?
What keeps me motivated? I guess it's like I found my purpose is the main thing. And my purpose is to spread good feelings, good vibes through my music. And, this week I just, matter of fact, you mentioned Radio Indie International in the intro. And, I happen to make Featured Artist of the Week this week, which is just like, that motivates me right there. And it's like when I first, put a song out and I was just like, I don't know, I'd be happy if 10 people listen to the song, I didn't know that. I mean, this week was a bad week. I didn't crack the top 30, but I still had 15,000 spins on Radio Indie International. And I mean, then when I'm up there, I'm looking up there, sometimes it's around 28,000 spins. I'm like, that's a lot of people hearing my music. Artists out there that are big time will say, man, until you get millions, you ain't doing nothing. But to me, that's phenomenal. And the fact that, when I first put out that song, Big Man Things, that they talked about, topped the N1M charts, that was actually my first release. And the only reason I put it out there is because when a lady that managed me, Tori, down in SoCal, she said, hey, you need to get together with some of those reggae artists and you need to put out a rhythm. I said, huh? So I never produced anything in my life. And so I went ahead and made the track, put the drums together, added some bass line and all that. And then I enlisted the help of Roz D, Jaw Fagan, Jaw Dyson, Promise, DJ Paul Spiceman, and who did I leave out? I always leave somebody out. Forgive me. I'll think of you in a minute. And myself. And I put this rhythm out, and my song, with all these established reggae artists, just happened to be the one that really caught fire. And I think I owe a lot of that to Young Promise, because when I first heard her rap and her flow, I was like, man, I got to do a feature and get her on here. And so I did that. And so, the fact that I was able to put something out, that many people listening, because we're talking like, a couple 100,000 people listen to that track on the N1M, not the N1M, the N1M charts alone. And so I'm like, wow, that's just pretty impactful. And that was a song I was playing last year. Actually, DJ Fresh Cut over in Dominica. I got to give him credit for helping me come up with that name, because one day I put a mix out on Mixcloud, and he said, he saw that with number one. He said, you're doing Big Man Things. So I said, all right, I'm going to make a song called that's what keeps me going. It's just the fact that I got something that people listen to, and I know that since I had so much success with the first one, I got to come out with some quality stuff, because now I set the bar.
All right, so I have one more question.
Okay.
So if your life was a song, what would the title be right now?
My life was a song. I would just have to say, don't stop or till you get enough, Michael Jackson. I get enough. You know what I mean? Until I feel my job is done. I might be like George Clinton, 85 years old, still putting stuff out.
I think your title should be Big Man Things. The song, because that's what you're doing. You good? You already got your title.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, son.
I mean, it's still, I still don't consider myself an artist or a producer. I call myself a DJ. It seems funny to me to be interviewed as an artist. I never pictured myself there.
Yeah, well, you're here because, I mean, you're a DJ, but you're also producing music, you know, so you're part of the club. Yeah, you're part of the club. Welcome. All right, so we are going to close out with Spicy Salsa Lady. Do you want to tell us a little bit about this before I play it?
Okay, so the Spicy Salsa Lady is real. I won't say that. And so last time I was on your show, I mentioned it because I think we played the hip-hop version that I put out. It was more of a dancehall reggae / hip-hop version that I put out. But so since I better give you a backstory. So I went over to London a couple of years ago to do an event. One of the DJs on my station, she is a salsa DJ, and she actually owned the venue that the event was at. And, you know, I used to listen to her show because it came on before mine. I just liked that accent. I was like, I just love the way she sounds and all that. And so then she started listening to my show and, you know, started commenting in the little shout box and all that. And then so when I walked into the club in London, I just seen it, and there's just something like mystical about her, like a familiarity, like, you know, I've known her for many lives. And it's just kind of like, you know, well, how you been after all these years type of thing. And so I ended up dancing a couple times and just, you know, started feeling the vibe and all of that. And I was just like, man, I think the next time I talked to her, or we had a meeting or something, and we were kind of like chatting before the meeting got started, and she mentioned something about one of the promos I had on my show. And I said, I can make a promo for you. And she said, please do. And I said, I can make a whole song about it. She was like, no, you can't. I know that's what she was thinking. And so I wrote it, and then I went ahead and recorded and sent a rough draft, and she was like, hey, I like that. And I said, okay, yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to put that on my 5B Consciousness rhythm. So I did. And so then I decided, I said, you know what, because I started really getting into salsa, I said, let me put out a salsa version of that song since it is called the Spicy Salsa Lady. So I went ahead and put out the remix for the salsa version of it. And I also have a video which I haven't released yet, but you and VenomM have seen the video. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what she looks like, and that's what I look like. And so someday I got to record speaking on the video. So I guess you can go ahead and let it roll.
Well, we gonna get this going. This Spicy Sauce Lady. Okay.
DJ Boozadelic Production.
Salsa lady, you wind up driving me crazy. Ooh, we work it, baby. Drop it down, spicy lady. Go ahead, girl, now do your thing. Love the way you make it go boom, boom, bang. Spicy salsa lady, you wind up driving me crazy. Stepped into the club, girl, there you were like 4K, and everything else was blurred. I looked into your eyes, came as no surprise that you were mesmerized, and better than ever, I was into you, you were into me. Don't annoy the signs, that's what's meant to be. Let yourself go, now it's plain to see. Live your life, set yourself free. Beyond understanding what the universe has planned. You, my lady, and me, your man. Travel this land, now me overstand. This is true connection. Jah provide me protection. Frequency like infection. Salsa lady, you wind up drive me crazy. Ooh, we work it, baby. Drop it down, spicy lady. Spicy salsa lady. Spicy salsa lady. Love the way you make it go boom, boom, bang. Spicy salsa lady, you wind up drive me crazy. Vocal tone, the way you let out this soft sweet moan, I knew right then and there it was on. Spicy salsa lady, you wind up drive me crazy. Spicy salsa lady. Ooh, we work it spicy salsa lady. Spicy salsa lady, you wind up drive me crazy.
That was Spicy Salsa Lady by DJ Boozadelic.
Yes, indeed. And that was inspired by the lovely Salsa Jeannie, a.k.a. Ruth Ferguson. And I want to say hello, much love to Ruth. I know she's going to be listening. I just have to send her the link for the YouTube. And but yeah, that song right there, it was just that like I said, I had to put out a salsa version for it, and then when I actually got done, putting all the finishing touches on it, and I put the video, I said, wow, that's a great track. And matter of fact, she plays it at her events and on her radio show, so that gets some rotation. And that version right there you heard hasn't been released yet.
Okay.
So we leaked that one for y'all's enjoyment.
Okay. All right. Well, anything else you would like to say before we close out? It was been a pleasure having you here today. And again, thank you for being a part of the team, being a DJ, a producer. We appreciate you. So anything else you'd like to say?
I just want to give my love and regards to both you and VenomM. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all, family. And I just look forward to watching us grow and seeing what we can do. And maybe we need to have an event somewhere, like either in the ATL or in LA or something at some point.
We really do. We really do. I think that would be great. I probably need to try to work on something to see, because I think that would be great. That would be a big event for us. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I think we need to try to work on something, because that would be great. Especially to have all three of us together, that would be hot. Right. Well, I know you got to get to your next event, and I will send you the information. Once I have this stated and everything, and is it. And thank everyone for tuning in. Make sure you tune into our other shows as well. We have Rush Hour Rhythms, Power Hour. We have Echoes from Jam Rock with DJ Boozadelic. So thank you for tuning in, and everyone, you have a great night.
All right. Peace and love, everybody.
Right.
Step in the room, feel the bassline drop. Mic on fire, can't make it stop. Indie vibes rising from the underground. Raw talent here that shakes the sound. Got beats that sizzle, got words that spark. Shining like stars from the light to the dark. Who got the flavor? We got the lava, turn it up louder, feel the power. Who got the flavor? We got the lava. Tigress and VenomM, legends in the saga.
venom, legends in the saga. Spotlights on as the stories unfold. Dreams on the mic, never getting old. Breaking barriers with every note, paving new paths on this indie road. Spotlights on as the stories unfold. Dreams on the mic, never getting old. Breaking barriers with every note, paving new paths on this indie road. Spotlights on as the stories unfold. Dreams on the mic, never getting old. Breaking barriers with every note, paving new paths on this indie road. We got the flavor, we got the lava. Tigress and venom, they bring the drama. Who got the flavor, we got the lava. Tigress and venom, legends in the saga. Who got the flavor, we got the lava. Tigress and venom, legends in the saga. Who got the flavor, we got the lava. Tigress and venom, legends in the saga. Who got the flavor, we got the lava. Tigress and venom,